All right, so today we're going to be diving deep into the world of power of attorney.
Okay.
And no, before you click away thinking this is like, just for your grandparents,
Yeah,
trust me, this is relevant to everyone.
it really is.
Think of those like what if scenarios.
Right.
A sudden illness, an accident, even just being overseas.
Yeah,
Who's calling the shots if you can't?
exactly.
That's where power of attorney comes in.
Yeah.
And get this, your designated decision maker
Right.
doesn't need a law degree.
Right.
Which honestly blew my mind when I first learned about it.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising to a lot of people.
We've got a fantastic podcast episode as our source today
Right.
that breaks it all down in simple terms.
Wonderful.
And I can't wait to unpack it with you.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
It's interesting how many misconceptions there are surrounding POA.
Yeah. It's often seen as a last resort for the elderly,
Right.
but it's truly a vital tool for anyone
Yeah.
looking to take control of their future.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. Sure.
What is a power of attorney?
Yeah.
I mean, we hear the term thrown around, but what does it actually mean in practice?
So at its core,
Yeah.
a power of attorney is a legal document
Okay.
that grants someone else the authority to act on your behalf.
Right.
This person, known as your agent
Uh-huh.
or attorney, in fact, can make decisions about your finances,
Okay.
healthcare, or even legal matters,
Right.
depending on the scope of power you grant them.
So it's like having a designated driver, but for your life choices.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
It really captures the essence of what a POA is all about.
Okay.
Having someone you trust to step in and make decisions when you're unable to.
But that brings up an interesting point.
Okay.
The podcast we're using as a source mentioned different types of POAs.
Yes.
What are the key distinctions?
Right.
And why is it important to understand them?
You've hit on a crucial aspect.
Okay.
There's no one-size-fits-all power of attorney.
Gotcha.
The type you choose depends entirely on your specific needs and circumstances.
Okay. Let's start with the most common one.
Okay.
The durable power of attorney.
Okay. Durable sounds pretty serious.
It is.
What makes this one different?
The defining characteristic of a durable POA is that it remains in effect even if you become incapacitated,
Okay.
whether due to illness, injury, or mental decline.
Gotcha.
Think of it as an insurance policy
Okay.
for your decision-making abilities.
So let's say I were in an accident and unable to communicate.
Right.
My durable POA would ensure that someone I trust could still manage my affairs and make decisions aligned with my wishes.
Precisely. Without a durable POA,
Okay.
your loved ones might have to go through a lengthy and expensive legal process
Oh, wow.
to gain the authority to act on your behalf.
Okay.
And in some cases, the court might appoint someone who doesn't know you
Right.
or your wishes.
Wow. That's a scary thought.
It can be.
It highlights how crucial this document is for protecting our autonomy and ensuring our voices are heard, even in unforeseen circumstances.
You've hit the nail on the head. A durable POA allows you to proactively plan for the future and maintain control over your life,
Okay.
even in situations where you might be unable to do so yourself.
But that begs the question.
Right.
What if I only need someone to handle specific tasks
Right.
for a limited time,
Oh.
say while I'm out of the country
Yeah.
or recovering from surgery?
That's where a limited
Okay.
or special power of attorney comes in.
Okay.
This type is much more focused,
Okay.
granting your agent the authority to handle only specific tasks
Right.
that you clearly define in the document.
So it's like giving them a key to one specific room in your house rather than the entire property.
A perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Let's say you need someone to sign documents related to a real estate transaction while you're away.
Okay.
A limited POA tailored to that specific purpose would be ideal.
This is all making so much more sense now.
Good.
So we've got durable POA for ongoing decision-making
Right.
and limited POA for more specific tasks.
Exactly.
Are there any other types we should know about?
There's one more that's worth mentioning.
Okay.
The springing power of attorney.
Okay.
This one is unique because it only springs into effect
Okay.
when a specific condition is met, a
Right.
condition that you predefine in the document.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like a dormant power waiting to be activated.
Exactly.
Okay.
A common example is a springing POA that becomes active only if you're declared mentally incompetent by a physician.
Gotcha.
This way you retain full control over your affairs
Right.
until that specific event occurs.
This is all starting to feel like we're assembling a toolkit for different life scenarios.
Yeah, I like
And
that.
I'm guessing the next tool in that kit is choosing the right agent.
Yes.
This feels like a weighty decision in trusting someone with that much power.
Absolutely.
So where do we even begin? What qualities should we be looking for in a potential agent?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And I think the answer lies in understanding the responsibilities
Okay.
they'll be taking on.
Meaning.
Well, think about the specific powers you'll be granting your agent.
Okay.
If it's a financial POA, you'll want someone with strong financial literacy,
Okay.
someone who's responsible with money and capable of making sound financial decisions on your behalf.
Right.
If it's a healthcare POA, you'll want someone who deeply understands your values and beliefs about healthcare
Yeah.
and can advocate for those preferences even in challenging situations.
So it's really about matching the agent's strengths
Yes.
to the specific responsibilities they'll be handling.
Exactly.
It makes sense, but I imagine there's more to it than just skills and experience, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, this is a deeply personal decision.
It is. Trust is paramount.
Okay.
This person will be acting on your behalf, potentially making life-altering decisions.
Right.
You need to have complete confidence in their integrity,
Right.
judgment, and ability to put your needs above their own.
That level of trust isn't something you find just anywhere.
No.
Any tips on how to assess that in a potential agent?
Right. It's a complex evaluation,
Yeah.
but open and honest communication is a great starting point.
Okay.
Talk to the people you're considering.
Right.
Explain what a POA entails,
Okay.
the responsibilities involved, and your expectations.
Okay.
Gauge their reaction,
Uh-huh.
their willingness to take on the role,
Yeah.
and their understanding of your values.
It sounds like these conversations could be pretty intense.
Yeah, they're not.
It's not exactly light dinner table conversation.
You're right. These aren't easy topics to broach,
Right.
but they're crucial.
Yeah.
And remember, this is also an opportunity for the potential agent to ask questions
Oh, okay.
and express any concerns they might have.
Right. It needs to be a good fit for both sides.
Exactly.
So we've got skills, trust, and open communication.
Yes.
Anything else we should consider when choosing our agent?
Practical considerations are important too.
Okay.
Think about geographic proximity.
Okay.
Is this someone who can easily access your records,
Right.
attend meetings on your behalf, or be physically present if needed?
Gotcha.
Are they organized, reliable, and capable of managing the administrative tasks
Yeah.
that often come with a POA?
Wow. It's a pretty extensive checklist.
It is.
It's making me realize how much thought really needs to go into this decision.
It's definitely not something to rush into.
No.
And remember, you're not limited to just one agent.
Okay.
You can designate co-agents
Right.
or even name a successor agent
Okay.
who can step in if your primary agent is unable or unwilling to serve.
Okay. That's reassuring.
Okay.
It feels like we're building in some safeguards.
Yes.
So let's say we've done our due diligence,
Right.
had those tough conversations, and finally chosen our agent,
Okay.
the all-star decision maker.
Yeah.
What happens next?
Now it's time to put it all in writing
Okay.
to formalize the agreement through the creation of the power of attorney document itself.
Okay, so this is where we roll up our sleeves and dive into the legal jargon.
Not necessarily. You have a couple of options when it comes to drafting the POA document.
Okay.
You can hire an attorney to guide you through the process.
Right.
Or you can explore online legal services that offer templates and resources.
Ah, the classic DIY versus professional help dilemma.
Exactly.
What are the pros and cons of each approach?
Hiring an attorney offers personalized legal advice,
Okay.
ensures the document complies with your state's specific requirements,
Right.
and provides a level of expertise that can be invaluable,
Okay.
especially if your situation is complex or
Wow.
you have specific concerns.
It sounds like the peace of mind that comes with legal expertise probably comes with the price tag, right?
That's often the trade-off.
Yeah.
Attorney fees can vary,
Right.
but it's an investment worth considering for the level of personalized guidance
Okay.
and assurance they provide.
And what about the online legal services route?
Sure.
What are the benefits there?
Online legal services are generally more affordable
Okay.
and accessible. They offer pre-drafted POA templates that you can customize to your specific needs,
Okay.
and many provide helpful guides and resources
Right.
to walk you through the process.
So it's a trade-off between cost
Yes,
and personalized guidance.
exactly.
But I imagine there are some potential downsides to the DIY approach.
Of course.
Okay.
While online legal services can be a great option for straightforward situations,
Right.
they might not offer the same level of personalized advice
Okay.
or address specific legal nuances that an attorney would be able to navigate.
Right.
It's crucial to carefully evaluate your needs and comfort level with legal documents
Yeah.
before making a decision.
Okay, so choose your own adventure when it comes to drafting the document.
Exactly.
But regardless of which path we choose,
Yeah.
there's one thing you emphasized earlier that I want to circle back to.
Okay.
Making sure the POA meets our state's specific legal requirements. Why is that so important?
State laws regarding power of attorney can vary significantly.
Wow.
These variations can cover everything from specific wording
Right.
and witness requirements to the scope of powers allowed
Okay,
and procedures for revocation.
right.
If your POA doesn't adhere to your state's laws,
Yeah.
it could be challenged or even deemed invalid.
So doing our homework on those state-specific nuances is crucial,
Yes.
even if we're using a pre-drafted template.
Exactly.
But let's fast forward a bit.
Okay.
We've navigated the legal hurdles,
Right.
drafted our POA,
Okay.
and we're ready to make it official.
Great.
What happens next?
The next step is signing the document and having it notarized.
The official stamp of approval.
Yes.
I've always wondered about notarization.
Okay.
What purpose does it serve?
Notarization serves as a safeguard against fraud
Okay,
and ensures the authenticity of the document.
gotcha.
It involves signing the POA in the presence of a notary public
Right.
who verifies your identity,
Okay.
witnesses your signature, and affixes their official seal.
It's like having an impartial witness to the signing,
Yes.
making it extra official.
Exactly.
But is notarization a requirement for all POAs?
Most states require notarization
Okay,
for a POA to be considered legally valid.
gotcha.
However, specific requirements can vary.
Right.
So it's best to consult your state's guidelines
Okay.
or seek legal advice
Right.
to ensure you're following the proper procedures.
Okay, so we've signed, sealed, and delivered our power of attorney.
Yes.
Mission accomplished, right?
Not quite.
Okay.
While safekeeping the document is crucial,
Uh-huh.
it's equally important to remember that a POA isn't a set it and forget it document.
Right.
Life is dynamic,
Yeah.
and our needs, circumstances, and relationships can change over time.
So we need to keep our POA up to date.
Ideally, yes.
How often should we be revisiting this document?
It's a good practice to review your POA periodically,
Okay.
especially after major life events.
Okay, like what?
These could include marriage, divorce,
Gotcha.
the birth of a child, a significant change in your financial situation,
Right.
or a move to a new state with different legal requirements.
Wow. It's a lot to keep track of.
It can be.
But I'm starting to understand the importance of staying proactive
Yeah.
and making sure our POA reflects our current realities.
Exactly.
It's about ensuring the document continues to serve its intended purpose.
Yes.
And reflects your current wishes and circumstances.
Got it?
This deep dive has been incredibly eye-opening.
Great.
I'm realizing how much more there is to power of attorney than I initially thought.
It's a complex topic.
It's not just about planning for the worst-case scenario.
Right.
It's about taking control and making sure our voices are heard,
Exactly.
no matter what life throws our way.
You got it.
This leads to an important question that's been swirling in my mind.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about the legalities and practicalities,
Right.
but there's an ethical dimension to all of this as well, right?
Yes, definitely.
I mean, the agent is entrusted with a lot of power.
Right.
How do we navigate those ethical considerations?
That's a crucial point, and one that deserves careful consideration.
Okay.
Acting as someone's agent under a POA
Right.
is a significant responsibility.
Okay.
It requires a deep sense of integrity
Right.
and a commitment to acting solely in the principal's best interests.
So it's not just about following instructions. It's
No.
about understanding the spirit of those instructions.
Yeah.
And making decisions that align with the principal's values,
Exactly.
even in situations where those decisions might be difficult or nuanced.
You've articulated it beautifully.
Okay.
The agent's role is to faithfully represent the wishes of the principal.
Right.
Even if those wishes might differ from their own personal beliefs
Right.
or preferences,
Okay.
it's about putting aside personal biases
Yeah.
and advocating for what the principal would want, even in challenging situations.
Wow, there's a real weightiness to that responsibility.
There is.
It's not something to be entered into lightly.
Absolutely.
And if an agent ever feels unsure about a decision or uncomfortable with the scope of their authority,
Yeah.
seeking legal advice or guidance from a trusted professional is always a wise course of action.
It can be. Absolutely.
It's about recognizing the limits of your knowledge and seeking support when needed.
Exactly.
But what about from the principal's perspective?
Okay.
Are there things they can do to ensure their agent is acting ethically and responsibly?
Transparency and communication are key.
Okay.
Regularly discussing decisions,
Right.
providing clear documentation, and encouraging open dialogue can help build trust
Right.
and ensure that the agent's actions are aligned with the principal's wishes.
It sounds like open communication is the foundation of a successful POA relationship.
It really is.
It's about fostering a sense of shared understanding and mutual respect.
Absolutely.
But let's shift gears for a moment.
Okay.
I'm curious to explore some real-life scenarios
Sure.
where these different POAs might come into play.
Yeah.
Can you give us some concrete examples of how these legal tools can be used in everyday life?
Let's start with the durable power of attorney for finances.
Okay.
Imagine a young couple embarking on a year-long backpacking trip around the world.
Okay.
They want to experience life unplugged,
Right.
but still need someone to manage their financial affairs back home.
Gotcha.
They could create a durable POA,
Okay.
designating a trusted family member or friend to pay bills, manage investments, and handle any unexpected financial issues
Okay.
that might arise during their travels.
So it's like having a financial safety net while they're off exploring the world,
Exactly.
ensuring their financial life doesn't unravel while they're away.
Precisely.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Good.
What about a scenario involving a medical power of attorney?
Okay, let's imagine an elderly individual
Yeah.
with a chronic illness that's gradually progressing.
Right.
They want to ensure their health care preferences are respected,
Okay.
even if they become unable to communicate them due to their condition. They could create a medical POA,
Right.
designating a trusted family member or a close friend
Okay.
to make healthcare decisions on their behalf.
So it's about maintaining control over your healthcare journey,
Yes,
even when faced with challenging circumstances.
you got it.
That's incredibly empowering.
It can be.
And in this scenario,
Yeah.
the medical POA can be a valuable tool for ensuring the individual's wishes are honored
Yes.
and that their healthcare decisions are made by someone who understands their values and priorities.
Exactly.
These examples really bring it all to life. It's easy to get caught up in the legalities,
Right.
but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's about people, relationships, and making sure our voices are heard in those moments when we might not be able to speak for ourselves.
Beautifully said.
And speaking of different scenarios,
Okay.
let's consider one involving that springing power of attorney we talked about earlier.
Okay.
Remember, that's the one that becomes active only when a specific condition is met.
Right, like a light switch?
Right, it's like a secret power waiting to be unleashed.
Exactly.
Let's imagine a successful entrepreneur who's built a thriving business.
Okay.
They're concerned about what might happen to their company.
Yeah.
If they were to become incapacitated due to an accident or illness,
Right.
they could create a springing POA,
Okay.
designating a trusted business partner or associate to step in and make crucial decisions,
Yeah.
ensuring the business continues to operate smoothly during their absence.
So it's like a built-in succession plan,
Right.
safeguarding the future of their company and their employees.
It's fascinating how a single document can have such far-reaching implications.
It is remarkable.
But let's not forget,
Yeah,
with great power comes great responsibility.
of course.
As we delve deeper into the nuances of these different POA types,
Right.
it's crucial to acknowledge the ethical weight that comes with wielding such power on behalf of another.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's an important transition.
Yeah.
I feel like we've laid a solid foundation.
I agree.
Exploring the types of POAs.
Right. The agent selection process and some real-world scenarios.
Yeah.
But now it's time to grapple with the ethical considerations.
Okay.
What are some of the key dilemmas an agent might face?
Right?
And how can they navigate those sensitive situations with integrity and compassion?
That's a great segue.
Yeah.
And I think it's essential to acknowledge that ethical dilemmas can arise in a variety of situations
Okay.
when acting as someone's agent under a POA.
Can you give us some examples of what those dilemmas might look like?
Let's imagine a scenario where an agent is managing the finances of an elderly parent
Okay.
who's starting to show signs of cognitive decline.
Right.
The agent notices that the parent is making impulsive purchases
Okay.
or giving away money to strangers,
Oh, wow.
potentially putting their financial security at risk.
Right.
The agent is torn between honoring the parent's autonomy
Okay.
and protecting their well-being.
Wow. That's a tough situation.
It can be. It's a delicate balancing act between respecting someone's independence and safeguarding their interests.
You're right.
How does an agent navigate that kind of ethical gray area?
It's not easy,
No.
but open communication is often the best approach.
Okay.
The agent can start by having a conversation with the parent,
Right.
expressing their concerns and trying to understand the reasons behind their actions.
So it's about approaching the situation with empathy,
Yes.
and a genuine desire to understand the parent's perspective.
Exactly.
And if the parent is receptive,
Yeah.
the agent could explore strategies to mitigate the risks,
Right.
such as setting up spending limits or involving other family members in the decision-making process.
That's a good idea.
It's about finding collaborative solutions
Yes.
that balance both autonomy and protection.
Precisely.
And if the parent is resistant
Yeah.
or their cognitive decline is more advanced,
Right.
the agent might need to seek guidance
Okay.
from a geriatric care manager, a financial advisor, or even an attorney specializing in elder law.
That's a good idea.
So it's about recognizing the limits of your expertise
Yes.
and seeking professional support when needed.
Exactly.
It's a powerful reminder that even with the best intentions,
Right.
navigating these complex situations can require outside expertise.
You're absolutely right.
And it's important to remember
Yeah.
that the agent's role isn't to impose their own values or judgment,
Correct.
but to act in a way that aligns with the principal's wishes and best interests,
Exactly.
even if those wishes might be challenging to fulfill.
It happens.
These ethical dilemmas highlight the complexities of human relationships
Yeah.
and the weighty responsibility that comes with being entrusted with someone's well-being.
Absolutely.
But let's shift gears for a moment and circle back to the source material that sparked this entire conversation.
Okay.
The podcast episode we're using as our guide.
Yes. The
And
podcast.
It provided such a clear and accessible overview
It did.
of the world of power of attorney.
Yeah.
And what really struck me was how they emphasized the importance of viewing a POA,
Okay.
not just as a legal document,
Yeah.
but as a tool for empowerment,
Right.
a way to take control of your future
Yes.
and ensure your voice is heard no matter what life throws your way,
That's a powerful perspective shift.
right?
It reframes the entire concept of power of attorney,
Yeah.
moving it away from a document associated with decline or incapacity
Yeah.
and positioning it as a proactive step towards ensuring your wishes are respected
Right.
and your values are upheld.
Exactly.
It's about taking ownership of your life
Yeah.
and making sure your story unfolds the way you envision,
Right.
even in circumstances where you might not be able to directly control the narrative.
And I think that message aligns beautifully with the core values of these deep dives.
I agree.
Empowering ourselves with knowledge,
Yes.
taking proactive steps,
Yeah.
and approaching complex topics with confidence and clarity.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This exploration of power of attorney has been incredibly insightful.
Good, I'm glad.
But our journey isn't over yet.
Right.
In the final segment of this deep dive,
Okay.
we'll delve into the intricacies of the agent's role,
Yeah.
explore additional real-life scenarios
Okay.
where these legal tools come into play,
Right.
and discuss the importance of open communication and ongoing dialogue
Yes.
within the POA relationship.
I'm excited to continue this exploration
Yeah.
and provide our listeners with the knowledge and insights
Uh-huh.
they need to navigate the world of power of attorney
Right.
with confidence and compassion.
Right. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've covered a lot of ground in this episode, exploring the different types of power of attorney, the agent selection process, and the ethical considerations that come with wielding such significant power on behalf of another. But we're not done yet. We still need to unpack the intricacies of the agent's role, those everyday situations where a POA might come in handy, and the importance of communication within the POA relationship.
You're right, there's still so much to explore. It's like we've assembled this incredible toolkit, but now we need to understand how to use each tool effectively.
Exactly. And I think a great place to start is by diving deeper into the agent's responsibilities. We've touched on it broadly, but what does it really mean to act on someone's behalf? What are the core duties and obligations that come with this role?
It's a multifaceted role, that's for sure. But at its core, the agent's primary responsibility is to act in the principal's best interests, making decisions that align with their wishes and values. This requires a deep understanding of the principal's preferences, goals, and priorities. So it's more than just blindly following instructions. It's about understanding the spirit of those instructions and making judgment calls based on the principal's unique circumstances.
Precisely. And that's where things can get tricky, especially when dealing with unexpected situations or nuanced decisions. The agent might have to interpret the principal's wishes, weigh different options, and make choices that aren't explicitly outlined in the POA document.
That sounds like a lot of pressure. It's almost like being a detective piecing together clues to determine what the principal would want in a given situation.
It can feel that way at times, but that's why open communication and ongoing dialogue are so crucial in a POA relationship.
You're bringing up a key point that I wanted to explore further. How can the agent and the principal foster that kind of communication, especially as circumstances change or unexpected challenges arise?
It starts with a foundation of trust and mutual respect. Before the POA even comes into effect, the principal and the agent should have open and honest conversations about their expectations, concerns, and preferences.
So it's about setting the stage for a collaborative relationship where both parties feel comfortable sharing their thoughts and perspectives.
Exactly. And this open communication shouldn't end once the POA is in place. Regular check-ins, updates on decisions being made, and opportunities for the principal to ask questions or express concerns are crucial for maintaining a healthy and effective POA relationship.
It's about viewing the POA not as a static document, but as an evolving agreement, one that adapts to changing circumstances and the evolving needs of both the principal and the agent.
I love that perspective. It highlights the dynamic nature of this relationship. And I think it's important to emphasize that the agent's role isn't a solo mission. They can and should seek guidance from other professionals when needed, whether it's a financial advisor, an attorney, or a healthcare provider.
So it's about recognizing the limits of your expertise and building a network of support to ensure the principal's needs are met comprehensively.
Precisely. And remember, the agent isn't just responsible for making decisions. They're also responsible for keeping accurate records, documenting their actions, and providing transparency to the principal and other relevant parties.
It's about accountability, ensuring that decisions are made ethically and responsibly, and that there's a clear trail of actions taken. But let's step back for a moment and consider the broader implications of what we've been discussing. This deep dive has really highlighted the importance of planning for the future and having those sometimes difficult conversations with our loved ones about our wishes and preferences.
You've hit on a crucial point. We often avoid these conversations because they can feel uncomfortable or even morbid. But having a POA in place isn't about dwelling on the negative. It's about empowering yourself and ensuring your voice is heard, even in circumstances where you might not be able to advocate for yourself.
It's about taking control of your narrative, writing your own story, and making sure your values are reflected in the decisions that shape your life. And I think that's a message worth emphasizing as we wrap up this episode. A power of attorney isn't just a legal document. It's a testament to your agency, a declaration of your values, and a gift of peace of mind, not only for yourself, but also for those you care about.
Beautifully said. And I want to add that creating a POA doesn't have to be an intimidating or overwhelming process. Resources are available to guide you, whether it's seeking legal advice, utilizing online services, or even just having open and honest conversations with your loved ones about your wishes.
This deep dive has been an incredible journey exploring the complexities of power of attorney, from the legalities to the ethical considerations to the human stories that lie at the heart of these documents. We've covered a lot of ground, but I believe we've only just scratched the surface.
I agree. And if this deep dive has sparked your curiosity or prompted you to consider creating a power of attorney for yourself, I encourage you to seek out additional information, consult with a legal professional, and start those important conversations with your loved ones.
This is a topic that deserves our attention, our thoughtful consideration, and our proactive engagement. And remember, this is just one deep dive among many. We'll be back soon with another exploration of a topic that matters. Until then, stay curious, keep learning, and take ownership of your journey.
See you on the next deep dive.
If this podcast helped you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps us keep making these videos. Thanks for watching.